We are sewing something called a Zippaport shirt. And these are for kids who have medical ports. It's a small modification, but it makes things a lot easier and less stressful when you're going in for medical treatments. We weren't really sure about making this video, but then we remembered, I mean, makers want to make, right?
Definitely.
And what I mean by that is, as a maker, I just want to make all the time, and sometimes I run out of the need for things. I don't need to make the things that I want to make, so it's always nice to have
A purpose.
something that you can make that somebody wants and needs and will use. So it just seemed like a perfect marriage of, we're makers, we make things, we can help somebody who will benefit greatly from something we can make. We make beautiful things all the time. So now we're just making something useful and beautiful for beautiful people who need it.
Some kids need regular treatments through their medical port. And when I was 16, I was actually diagnosed with hemochromatosis, which is not something that needs a medical port, but it is something that took me to Sick Kids Hospital every 2 weeks for over a year. And the department that I had to go to was the oncology department. So there were a lot of, really sick kids there. And that really made an impact on me. So when our guild brought up this volunteer opportunity, I felt very compelled.
She did. We were sitting beside each other at guild meeting, and we don't really talk during guild meeting, but immediately Cecilia's like, Mom, we can definitely do that. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. So we are following instructions by the organization that works in our area, the Greater Toronto Area. If you want to do something similar, you should check in with your hospital or your local volunteer agency that's looking after this, just to make sure that you're doing things the way that they prefer. I'm going to add a link in the description to the organization we're working with, which is Zippaport. I'm going to add that.
So all we're actually doing is adding a zipper here, which, if you don't know how to do a zipper, might be intimidating, but really it wasn't at all. We started by
Measuring.
Thank you for that word. So measuring, we used the specific instructions from the organization, and then we put in a little bit of, what is this called? Interfacing tape?
I think that's what it would be called.
It's just some interfacing right along where we're going to be putting the zipper. And then we cut down the line, added the zipper in on the back, and flipped it so that we could do a top stitch and there's no raw edges. And that's it. It was quite simple. Obviously there's a little bit more detail involved, but
they told us that the hardest part was the measuring, which is what I did. But I got through it a lot faster than Cecilia, so I think maybe that's not really true.
The measuring was actually...
Once, in fairness, once I did the first 3 or 4, I got really good at it. So if I was just doing a couple, it would have been maybe the trickiest part. But it went really fast once I really nailed down my method.
Personally, I measured the first one.
Okay, whatever.
And, no, I'm just saying that for some people, you might catch on the first time.
Not my skill set. Listen, I'm a weaver. Cecilia does a lot. She does all the sewing, almost all the sewing here. That's her skill set more than mine, for sure.
And I only sewed the back of one shirt.
Yeah, yeah. My skill set is unpicking. I'm good at that, so I unpicked her sewing the back of the shirt into the zipper.
But that had nothing to do with the ease of the project.
Right.
I just got distracted. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's do some more sewing because
we have a few more to sew.
I cannot believe that we had this tape.
Well, Donna said that the hardest part was the measuring, so I figured it has to be hard. Because when I'm looking at this situation, the sewing part seems the hardest, but who am I to say?
I feel like I'm a professional now.
You are. Do you know, actually, you know what?
Oh,
We're
back
being
one.
dumb. I should be measuring them from the back. And
You have
that
to
way,
cut them.
yeah, why can't I cut them from the back? It's the same
Because
as,
you won't be able to see the line.
if I put the line on the back, I will.
And then you're covering it up.
True, but I could cut down the middle.
True. I'm breaking hearts right now. Monster.
You are once. We're just eyeballing the middle, I guess, is better.
That's what I did with the first one.
Okay, well, I think you're right. It's not like rocket science over here. It's easy to forget. Not everybody has the ability to just sew something. Either they don't have the skill set, or they don't have the equipment, or they don't have either one of those things. So it's good to help where we can, right? Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us in the studio today. And if you liked this video, you're probably also going to like this one or this one. We'll see you there. Bye for now.
You just get really close to me. Did it wear off on your face? It did.